In terms of strength training, I think we're in one of the best time periods because I don't think we've done that good of a job with athletes just yet. I think we're getting there. And I think a lot of the ideas and principles and a lot of what strength coaches are doing with a lot of high-level athletes, we're starting to see that now trickle into a 24-hour fitness. You're now seeing people do things on one leg. You're now seeing people do things with one arm. You're now seeing people doing like more movement than just a bench.
It's the power of social media, YouTube.
Yeah, more than just access. A bench, more than just a squat, more than just a deadlift. And, you know, the biggest reason is because people are weak and they're pussies and they don't want to go through all the years and years of heartache that I did and all the suffering and sacrifices I've had to make to be able to push thousands of pounds. And so they make up these weird fucking exercises where they take a kettlebell and they twist it around and they flip it around. They're like, oh,
fucking Joel Seedman.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's so dumb.
Bro.
It's worthless.
I'm getting flustered.
I'm completely fucking around. I think that the exploration of human movement is just getting started. And I couldn't be more pumped about it. I think it's exciting. These exercises that we thought were just for pro athletes, we thought they were just for, or some people thought they were just for pro athletes. Maybe the rehab movement, you were like, that's just a rehabilitation movement. But anyone that's ever done a workout that's full of a bunch of drills and full of just kind of almost mobility stuff, maybe even almost calisthenics, start to blend like 2 or 3 of those things together, and you have a workout that might potentially just kick your ass.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised at how good it makes you feel. And it might not make you feel good at first, and it might not make you feel better at first. But just like anything in life, everything takes time. I think that we forget that, maybe pizza and ice cream don't take time to get used to, but everything else does. The taste of alcohol, the taste of coffee, like they taste fucking disgusting when you first taste them. I mean, give them to a 7-year-old kid and see how they respond. They're going to be like, oh my God, like you drink 6 beers, every night. It's freaking disgusting. They're going to be appalled and shocked at how gross it is. So most things take some
If Chris was here, I'd make some joke about like kissing a girl or feeling a girl's boob or something. The first time. I think that was a tough scenario for Chris. But he's not here, so there's no joke.
Oh.
If he was
here.
There was a space. Something to be hard to do.
Let's
gross, icky.
Make a note to make an edit and then put Chris's face in there, and then you could insert the joke, and it will probably still work.
Yeah.
It'll probably still work.
It'll bring it back.
I don't know. We were talking about steroids.
Yeah, steroids.
I don't know. Anyway, just back to your original question on like, is there like these X amount of things or things that I see like at a commercial gym? I haven't really been to a commercial gym in a very long time.
Maybe exercises that could die. Is there 2 to 3 exercises in the mainstream zeitgeist of human movement?
No exercises need to die, Aaron.
All right.
Jesus Christ, bro.
I'm telling you, I'm worked up.
You're violent today.
I'm ready to go, bro.
I haven't seen this side of you before, and I don't know if I like it. We don't need to kill any exercises. Right. I'm actually, when people talk about like functional movement, I'm like, what's a non-functional movement? Is there even such a thing?
Yeah.
I can't really think of one. Like if your body can do it, there's probably a reason for it. Maybe those movements that you can do, maybe not all of them should be loaded with as heavy weight as you can possibly handle. Maybe that would be a good idea. But I don't think any exercises need to die. I do think that maybe a rearranging of how you think about exercise needs to change, or how you think about a workout. A workout is, you drive yourself to a location and you spend an hour and a half there, and you are responsible for these movements in accordance to your goal. I think instead of that, I think that there should be a movement practice done every day. You should have strength and fitness and conditioning hygiene that you just brush up against. How do you brush your gums? You're not supposed to be brushing them like this. You get in trouble by your dentist if you go too crazy on them. You want to brush up against strength. You want to brush up against some cardiovascular training. You want to brush up against mobility, brush up against flexibility. You don't have to kill yourself with a modality that you hate. You don't have to spend an hour stretching and being like, I hate every second of this. It hurts. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm sweating. I'm dying. Like, this sucks. I don't think there's any good reason to do anything like that. The gym is a spot, exercise is an opportunity for you to feel better. Before you exercise, sometimes you're like, I don't even know if I want to get started today. But I have never found it in the thousands of workouts I've done over the years. I've never found it one time after I've given myself about 8 or 10 minutes of some sort of movement that I'm not over the negative thoughts I had before.
Yeah, it's amazing. So
a little bit of like what I would call like unflinching discipline, like just go and do the thing. When you do the thing, then the dopamine gets released, and you're going to be encouraged to push a little further and push a little harder. That's how the body works. People kind of talk about like a warm up and stuff, and it's, I think it's doing more for your mind than it is for your body.
Yeah, as effective as antidepressants on like low grade depression. I think it might probably gets into a different realm of like really, severe depression. Again, a place that I don't have enough depth to speak on.
Yeah.
But research suggests, I think just general intuition and logic suggests as well, exercise has at least as much effect as antidepressants.
It's unbelievable. And so I think what I think would be helpful for people is to remove this idea that you are going to start now to embark on exercise and working out, and it's starting on Monday, and you're going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're going to go on a ketogenic diet. Like, you're implementing like 7 things at one time. Just implement one small change at a time.
Yeah, be victorious.
Set yourself up for victory. Yeah. And that's what I mean by never having a bad day. My days aren't bad because they're not hard. Mm-hmm. Nothing I do has a tremendous amount of difficulty to it.
That's Alan Watts as well. That's a suggestion, like where we've been hoodwinked is the concept that work needs to be hard. If you get to a place where work becomes play, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
And that's where we got the wool pulled over our eyes, or whatever the term is. So says Alan Watts, which I think makes complete sense. If you're engaging, if you choose a path in one's life that actually feels like this is dynamic and this is playful, and we're creating, and I'm producing value, and I'm exchanging it for finances, but I was able to play through that experience. Right. And I think that's the mentality. If more people could adapt that, myself included, how can I play through the day? Oh, I'm doing something hard. I'm pumping my gas. It's just like whatever. But like, how could you make this be into something that's actually a playful experience? And if you can adapt that mindset, I think it's a really big deal.
One of the all-time greats, known as the Great One, Wayne Gretzky, one of the all-time great hockey players, he said that people would come up to him and they would say, hey, I'd love for you to check out, how my son's doing, and, if he has what it takes to kind of go to the next level. And Wayne Gretzky knew what every player was doing on every single play because he watched tape after tape after tape from the time he was a little kid, not just when he was like a pro. From the time he was a little kid. And I don't even really know the different positions in hockey, but I think he was
center, right wing, left wing.
I was going to say, I think he
defense, right defense, goalie.
There you go. And I think he was a center, I believe.
Probably.
People are going to be so mad at me, some of the hockey fans, but Wayne Gretzky would start out by tracing on a sheet of paper where the center was on certain plays with certain offenses that they set up. He's like 7 or 8. And he would trace it, and he would trace back. The guy goes this way, and he goes that way, and he's just playing on a sheet of paper like a little kid, just drawing, But he was so fascinated by it. And then he would do it with a defenseman, and then he would do it with the goalie. The goalie moves this many times. The goalie goes for the puck this many times. He's sitting there watching it, and he's like a fucking madman. He's a mad scientist. But if someone was to walk in the room and they're like, "Hey man, aren't you getting tired of that?" He'd be like, "Huh?
I'm playing."
Yeah, he's just playing.
Yeah.
And so when people would ask him that question, what could you do for my son, or how could you help him? Can you give me any advice? He's like, I got nothing. They either have it, and they think it's fun, and they want to practice and practice and practice, and they want to make sure everything is right, and they want to be detailed with it as possible.